Hi guys, welcome to Ian's Product Focus. I wanted to do a little bit of a longer video on CO2 because it's a little bit more in depth. So what we offer at Global Air Supplies is the ProLeaf CO2 monitoring equipment. It's the best equipment on the market by far. It's the simplest to use, it's bulletproof, never breaks, and really simple. What you get the CO2 controller and you get the CO2 Probe. So this is an infrared probe, so it measures your CO2 using infrared technology. Really expensive, but a really high quality, probably one of the best probes I've worked with to measure your CO2. You have a controller here, so you can do multiple things with this. And then you've got the output on the power. So as you can see, I think you can see, it's running in here at the moment at nearly 1200 parts per million. That's not great for us to be in here. It's a little bit high, but we've got the air conditioning running. It's a relatively small room, so we're breathing out CO2 and obviously increasing the CO2 in this room. It's got nowhere to go. I don't particularly like the mycelium bags or the little bottles that give off CO2. They don't give off enough CO2 to even be worth using, and by the time you've got the fan and filter in there and you're sucking air out of the room, it's gone by the time it's produced it. With this, it will monitor the CO2 in the room constantly and turn anything on or off what increases the CO2, keeping your perfect parts per million. There's many different theories on what your ppm should be or your parts per million of CO2 in your room. I think 1200 to 1500 is a really nice level to run at. Some people run a little bit higher, some people prefer it a little bit lower. It will be down to you to monitor your plants to see how they react to the CO2. My suggestion, if you're using CO2, run CO2 from start to finish. Don't add it and take it away and add it and take it away, because what's going to happen, your plants get used to a high CO2, then it disappears, then it comes back again. You're just confusing your plant. So increase your parts per million and keep it there throughout your grow. So like I say, this is the controller, that's the sensor, and it has the plug on there to bring the CO2 up. You can do it in a couple of ways. You can use the CO2 bottles, really easy way to do this. You connect this onto your CO2 bottle. You've got the pipe at the bottom which connects to this black pipe. You run the black pipe around the room, and when the ppm drops in your room, this will turn on, releasing CO2 into your room, really nice and clean. Just make sure you've always got a backup bottle in case you run out. Or you've got the burners. The burners are a little bit easier to run. They've got a propane bottle which basically will turn the burners on, and as the burners burn and burn off the oxygen, releasing CO2, it will automatically bring the ppm up in the room. One of the issues with using burners is obviously you've got a naked flame in there, but this has got technology. If it tips over or anything goes wrong, it will just cut off the valve. But it's really easy to use. The other issue, it potentially puts heat into the room. So if you're running LEDs and you want to add some extra heat in the daytime, perfect little combo, doesn't cost you anything. Heat's a byproduct of creating CO2, so you bring your temperature up and you add CO2 to the room. It's just if you want that naked flame in there. But again, tips over, it will turn off, but ultra safe. We do this in a 4 burner and a 10 burner, I think. So it depends how big the room is, basically how many burners you want to use. So really easy to put together. You put the ProLeaf controller on the wall, put the sensor where you want the sensor to be to measure the CO2 in the room, and then connect it either to a CO2 gauge or the burners. Again, bulletproof, reliability, really easy to use. It's got something in there called fuzzy logic, which basically means the valve won't freeze up. It basically pulses, so you don't get that long spurt of CO2, which sometimes used to freeze up the valve. This doesn't happen with this product because it's got, like I say, the fuzzy logic control. If you want any more information on CO2, phone us, phone one of your reps, go into the store. They'll love to give you as much information as you need about getting that ppm up to increase your yields and to get that quality. If you want any more information on this, just give us a shout, drop on the website. Cheers, guys.